when they went to pass the banker bailout, okay? The latest one, Obama's stimulus plan, 1,174 pages. 1,174 pages. And they had 1 hour to read it.
This is Tom Price. I represent the 6th District of Georgia and privileged to chair the Republican Study Committee. It's now 9 a.m. on Friday morning. Here it is. This is the non-stimulus bill, over 1,000 pages, was made available at 11 o'clock last night. Remarkable activity here. We've got handwritten notes on here. This one here on page 9, title 4, says strikes out for necessary expenses, which means they can use it for anything they want. Got another one here that'll show you how Washington works. Handwritten notes on here. Here we've got 100 million crossed out and substituted in handwriting 150 million. That's page 20 of Title 10. This is how your Congress works. It's not the way the American people want it. It's not the kind of change that I think the President talked about. If you don't believe this is how Washington ought to do its business, call your representative, call your senator. Say that you demand appropriate action to make certain that we turn this economy around. Thank you.
Does that sound right to you? Have you elected officials who don't read things but sign them? Who take away your liberties with the stroke of their pens, or believe they do? Because you know what? They don't. You have your liberties and you have your freedoms, but you have to stand up and fight for them. And if you're going to sit down and cower and what, like the Sharon school systems, practice lockdowns? Are you kidding me? Hey, if my child watches this show, listen closely, children. I don't want you locking down for anything. They tell you, oh my God, we're going to practice lockdown. Kick the door down, get out of the building. Tell them you're a happening, and that's what happenings and free people do. Stop practicing lockdowns in Sharon. We're brave people, okay? We don't lock down and cower. Don't put up with this. Stop getting conditioned by the media that what? We have to get ready for a pandemic. And meanwhile, the people that are behind Obama are telling you what? Zbigniew Brzezinski is telling you your cities are going to be attacked. He said it. Council on Foreign Relations speech. That's right. Good old CFR guy. Wasn't David Rockefeller a CFR guy? Hey, let's bring that Rockefeller clip in with Cheney, a director of the CFR for 26 years, lied to his constituents. Maybe it's not lying when I didn't bother telling my constituents I was a member.
It's good to be back at the Council on Foreign Relations. As Pete mentioned, I've been a member for a long time and was actually a director for some period of time. I never mentioned that when I was campaigning for re-election back home in Wyoming.
Yeah. So you think it's all, just roses and all honky-dory. The guys who ruin the economy are going to fix it. The guys who stole from you are going to make life better, okay? The ones who took away your freedoms are going to protect them. Are you kidding me? Come on. We were told a guy in a cave. Hold it. Let's show the 5 frames again. These are the 5 frames you get to see of the Pentagon strike.
Another big story, the Pentagon releasing the first video showing American Airlines Flight 77 crashing into the Pentagon on September 11th.
Now remember, 5 frames, okay? And frames have 2 fields because they're interlaced TV things. But once again, 5 frames. How many frames are in a second of video? I think there's 30 frames in a second. So you got to see 5. Well, 5 goes into 30, a sixth of a second. 80 cameras around the Pentagon. You get to see 1/6 of a second. They're telling you the truth. The guy supposedly attacking the Pentagon takes a 330-degree curve to hit it. Whoa! Not like a kamikaze guy going straight in. No. Not our guy. Not Hani Hanjo, the guy they want you to believe that did it. Okay? Bam! And who's the captain of that airplane? No one other than Mr. Burlingame. Who did what? Practice drills of planes crashing into the Pentagon? You think I'm kidding? Let's show them.
Back on October 24th, 2000, the Pentagon conducted MASCOW, a mass casualty exercise which simulated the impact of a Boeing 757 into the building.
So you still believe, once again, the Pentagon strike, you got to see a sixth of a second. There were 80 cameras that were shooting that building that day, and guess what? The FBI went and rounded up all of the videotapes. They went to places that weren't even owned by the government to take the videotapes, and they haven't released them. What did they release to you? You sucker! You got a sixth of a second, And meanwhile, they're telling you they're practicing drills. What are they drilling for? Oh, gun confiscation. Doesn't that sound American to me? It sure does. I've got new Mr. Holder Attorney General who says, I want to take away your guns. You get new Obama who just wants reasonable gun control. What does he come from? He comes from Chicago, one of the most corrupt cities in our country, okay, where crime's running, it's rampant. I mean, geez, do you have to put this together yourself, or do you need me once again to ask you questions? Let me ask you, how's Chicago doing? Yeah. How's the government been in Chicago? Hey, Mayor Daley, wasn't he a mayor over there? Didn't his son become a mayor too? We got Baglievich. He wasn't a crook. He was honest, okay? We got Rahm Emanuel, the guy who doesn't pay taxes, lives in houses for free, okay, and doesn't claim it on his taxes. Why don't I just gift you a residence, $1 million residence that you can live in and you don't have to pay taxes for it? But that's right, we got Daschle. Remember Abramoff? Do any of these things make sense to you? Do you ever put them together and go, District of Criminals? Does it ever, and then when you find out that they want to kill people, that they want to take away your rights, that they're building FEMA camps to house millions of people on military bases. How about this? Civilian inmate labor camps. I know, doesn't it sound good? Well, search it. Would you believe me if I said they were civilian inmate labor camps and that they existed for 10 years and they kept them secret? And then now they've come out and they said, yeah, we got them. So we got our military, what? Getting used to having labor camps. Yeah, Americans, I thought you were brave. I thought you were free. Are you going to put up with this? And we're bailing out bankers, not the people, because Ted Kennedy changed the bankruptcy laws. Don't you love that one? Yeah, why doesn't the Boston Globe run another article of how great he is? Why doesn't Queen Defecation, okay, give him another knighthood or whatever? Okay, rather interesting, huh? But okay, when we had the Great Depression, most people were agrarian. They grew their own food. Do any of you grow your own food? Do you know how to grow food? Think about it. When we entered the last great economic crisis, things were different. The country wasn't in debt. Now they're creating money from nothing faster. I mean, think about it. Right now, the amount of money they've created, okay, just in all these BS stimulus things, is trillions of dollars. They say it's hundreds of billions. I'm telling you, it's trillions. It's greater than the world GDP. So here's my overdrive show for you. I hope you enjoyed it. Get off your derrieres. Start becoming brave. And my children out there, don't you go for that lockdown crud. And no, you're not going to stick any more vaccines in my kids. Sorry, that game's over. And by the way, thanks for watching The Real Story. My name's Daniel Happney. Tune in again. It's more fun next week.